Well, Rick, this has been quite the journey. Started at in the Denver airport for me, flying to sea level of Minneapolis, and then jumping on a plane, which I don't even think I got to this elevation from my flight of Minneapolis to Baxter. We're sitting here in my backyard at 12,000 feet, and so far so good. My shocks that I built in Baxter are still in one piece. Pretty cool to see step 1, 2, and 3 come to fruition, isn't it?
And now the cool thing is I don't have to change velvet anymore. Now you can do it since you did it on your own shocks.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, good. Chris, let's tell everybody, you know, you have spent a lot of time on these shocks. Let's just give the general consumer, the public out there, just a down and dirty, where should you be 1, 2, and 3, and also the lockout.
And Rick, that's probably the number one asked question is, okay, so yeah, these shocks have adjustability, but when and where and why do I use the adjustability? Another good way to look at it is when you have everything soft, the chassis is very quick to react, okay? When you stiffen up the clicker, it slows the chassis down. A good way to think about that is in more setup snow, I run the chassis a little faster or softer. When the snow is really deep, the sled wants to be quick and roll. So then I will slow the chassis down and or stiffen up the suspension. For you guys who love doing wheelies, you would obviously run 1. So 1 would soften up that rear suspension. So when you hit the gas, it squats the rear, lifting the front. I like going up the hill and being up at the top. So I will run a stiffer setting in the rear, softer in the front track shock to allow that front track shock to collapse, to lift up on top of the snow. And on my ski shocks, I will generally run 1 or 2 depending on the snow conditions, because I always want the sled to be easy to roll, turn, initiate on edge. So I hope that helps clear up like when and why I run the different settings. And again, I'm doing that throughout the day. So to be able to cater your sled to the conditions each and every day is pretty awesome. All right, guys, we're out here in northern Colorado on a beautiful early season day. And this hill and these snow conditions were a perfect example of the benefits of having adjustability in your rear track shock, more specifically lockout. So you can see these first couple passes up the hill, I'm in 1 and or party mode, wheelie mode, whatever you want to think of it as. And you can see it's literally tough to get going, and I'm having to kind of zigzag to get going. And more importantly, when I'm on the hill, you can see the pitch of the snowmobile is still like full wheelie. When I go to lockout, initially, yes, I still do wheelie, and that's just because we're in early season bottomless snow. But what you'll notice is once it gets past that wheelie, you can see the sled literally get up on top and carry that nose down to move that sled forward. Instead of using the power to lift the front end, we're using the power to drive forward and able to get a lot higher up on the hill. It's these types of tools that we have out on the mountain that are the difference between making a line and not making a line. Conditions like today, I absolutely feel the benefits of lockout. And on a day when the snow's a little bit more set up, you might not even need lockout, but it's nice to have the adjustability and be able to cater the sled to the conditions that you're riding that particular day. Well, Rick, pretty awesome way to wrap up episode 3 with you guys coming out to here in Colorado to play on the snow with me. It's been quite the journey. Minnesota, back to Colorado, some shop time on the snow. Today was, I'll be honest, early season conditions, but it was still great to get out on the snow and more importantly, show people at home here how much we enjoy getting the shocks out in what we build them for here.
And for us at Fox, it's fun showing everybody how we collaborate. You know, we don't just make a shock. We are out on the snow. We're working with you hand in hand, showing them all the cool stuff that's inside of a shock to when we get on the snow and the ease of the adjustment.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed all 3 episodes. It was really fun for me to see behind the scenes. Awesome to get Rick and Fox here to my place in Colorado in the nosebleed section of 12,000 feet. We're really looking forward to a great winter. I hope from a snow standpoint, I know it's been a slow start for this season, but I know it's coming, and I hope everyone has a great season.